bloom over this, and what does it say about your team to, test the wills and they come through?
I kissed Nick on the forehead. I said, there are about 3 of you in this room that need to do this, but I will do it for you. So I kissed him on the forehead. But we had some guys that this game, and I went at one like we're going at you offensively. Miss a shot, turn it over, give up a three, turn it over. You need to know where you are right now so we can help you. I thought Emmanuel, that shot in that corner at the end, I said, oh my gosh, I thought it was in. But I'll tell you, Nick was unbelievable. Ashton, again, who came up with the balls in the end? Now I'm looking at the other guys and I'm saying, think about if we have 2 or 3 guys like that. We got one. Now we got Nick. The ball that we got fumbled, Nate grabbed that thing. There were some things that happened. But I'll be honest with you, what I did when we were up 10, I went at the same guy on purpose. And I said, if we lose the game, we lose the game. And I was telling him I was doing it. Like, yeah, kid, this is the big stage. Let's go. And he's a great kid, but he's going to have to learn now. And we need him. Now we got a 7-footer. How many guys have 7-footers that can do what that kid does? Not many. All right, we got a point guard that's a killer. We got some shooters. All right, we need that one more guy. EJ was good at the beginning. Nate showed some signs. Johnny and Keon, they got to give us more. They got to give us more so I can leave them in. Johnny hit a big 3, though, but it was a great game. We had a lot of happy guys in the locker room.
Coach, you had 20 turnovers, get outscored turnover points 25-9, get outscored in the paint 34-20. How in the world did you win this game?
We out-rebound them by 6, and we're not the kind of team, and you know what most of the turnovers were? Like 6 of them? What were they? Charges. And they're good at that. So if you take off 6, it's about what we normally get, 12, 13, okay? But I kept telling them, if you lean, they're going to call that a charge. So we must have had 4 or 5, 6 where they just came up, stepped up, we left our feet, and they take a charge. But the biggest thing, again, is we had to figure out how to make baskets. The throw over the top where we went to a different set. We tried some different pick and rolls. That's a great defensive team. That's one of the best defensive teams in the country. They take away stuff. They switch. They'll get in front of the ball. They absolutely collapse and make you find other shooters. If you don't find other shooters, you're not scoring. You're going to run somebody over or you're going to take a tough shot. And then again, they offensively did some good stuff. And we rebounded. We rebounded at the end, thank goodness.
Coach, whenever you're in Kentucky, you're probably going to get everyone's best shot and every best crowd. But how did this environment
this was great. We drove by the tents last night. After I wanted them to see that, you bring out the best in people. Like, here they come. And let me say this. I've been in all kind of different arenas. This was a classy crowd. I've been to arenas where I don't want to take my team back. It's disgusting. Like, why should I do that and help another program if you got to walk in and it's just disgusting? Here, that was a classy crowd. And they were all over it for their team. They didn't care about us. That's how our crowd is. Our crowd, if someone comes into our building and scores 40, they'll give them a standing ovation. As he walks out of the building, and you're like, who are they clapping for? You, my man. They're clapping for you. And he waves. Yeah, I got 40 on you today. I mean, that's the way this should be. So I would just tell you, I've been down here one other time. I came down with my staff when Coach Knight was here, went to practice. I showed him the dribble drive because I wanted his opinion. This was a while ago. Tell me what you think of this. This is what we're doing. He gave me some great stuff. Watched his practice. One of my guys were talking. He screamed at us. We were on the side talking. He screamed, and hey! I'm like, ooh, jeez. I tried to jump under the table. But I've been down, so, and this is a great place. And I see they're building a practice facility. This is an unbelievable arena. The job that Chris has done, I said it, they play different. And he bought in and got kids to buy in, and the way they play is really hard to play against. And to come into this was a terrific win. And you're right, we get a lot of these, but this was kind of unique and special.
John, you kind of answered my question about Beard a little bit, but did you know who Chris Beard was 4 years ago, and why do you think he's such a good coach?
When you're sold on the way you're going to coach and play, and then you get your kids to play that way, it means this dude can coach. I've watched him in close games like this one here. He did all the right things. We made a couple plays that, they missed a free throw, and there was some stuff that they could have easily won this game. But I've got great respect, and as I watched more tape, he and I talked before, and I said, Guy, I'm bragging about you because your stuff, you're doing an unbelievable job. And he's good at what he does, and his kids fight for him.
Cal, we haven't talked to you since Khalil left. It kind of struck me that today the two guys up here, the story of the game, are two guys who stuck around and saw through patience some success. I guess what's your message about that, and what was your reaction to losing Khalil the way you did?
Look, here's what it is. I stay up nights trying to figure out how I get guys to play better. Not how my team plays better. How do I get guys to play better? What do we do defensively that can help certain people? Is there plays that we can run to get somebody going? What would that be? I mean, I stay up nights. I want every kid to make it. But there are times where kids think it's not here. We haven't had many, 4 or 5 kids. But again, I get disappointed as much in myself that I wasn't able to help him break through. But I told him, I'm here. Call me if you need me. How can I help you? What do you need me to do? I was a little bit surprised, but again, it's not my life. It's their life, and they're 18 and 19. I mean, my stuff it is what it is now. So that's my feeling was for him. And let me say this, folks, he went from playing 20-some minutes a game, to some guys, in my opinion, I went to the 3-guard lineup, which everybody thought I should do, and that's what we needed to do, and I did it. Well, that cut his time, and then some other guys started playing better. Not once on the bench, in the locker room, or in a meeting with me was he had any kind of attitude. He is a great kid. He cheered louder than everybody else. If he didn't play in this game, he would have been in that locker room cheering louder than anybody else. So sometimes it is what it is. Whether it's people convincing him and, around or whatever it is, I just wish him well. And my thing before he left, he had tears, I had tears. I hugged him with his family that I just said, you make it. Make it. If you're going to do this, you make it. And I said, I'll do anything I can to help you.
John, can you talk about the defense on Ramsey and the way you guys seem to have a knack for taking away or limiting the other team's big score?
He missed some shots today that he usually would make. So I don't know exactly. He only got 9 looks, but there were some that he missed. But we know how good he is. He's terrific, and you watch. He'll bounce back from this game and be fine.
Coach, everyone talks about how Nick has evolved over the course of his play. Kind of tell us about how Emmanuel has evolved as one of your go-to guys. He had the chance to win the game at the end with the 3, but it looked like he evolved into taking people off the dribble tonight. He did that a couple of plays. Kind of tell about how his plays evolved.
Look, we have 4 guys here because everybody thinks it's a sin to stay in school when you go to Kentucky 2 years. PJ Washington. I mean, now you got Emmanuel quickly and Ashton. You got Nick that stayed 3 years. And what you see is they've never been better in their life. And that's the whole key. How do we get guys to be the best that they've ever been where they're continuing to grow? In Emmanuel's case, he had to slow his mind down. Your feet can move real fast, but your mind can't move that fast because you can't see what's happening on the court. It'll play too fast. So it took him time to where he now he sees it better. His mind has slowed down, but his feet haven't. And he has courage, and he's strong physically and mentally, and, he's just, I'm proud of him. Look, nothing fazed him when he missed that three. No pouting, nothing. That's one of those things that, it takes time. Ashton, not even the same player he was a year ago. Nick, you all seen it. Nick saying, he just said, what was his comment? This is
Best 3 years of his life.
best 3 years of his life. Why would I have left? I'm happy I stay. I mean, all this stuff, if I got to get out of here in a year, I get it. I understand it. We've had a lot do it. But that puts so much stuff on these kids. So much. If it's any clutter from the outside and not just them, it's hard. And then you're at Kentucky, ready? Every game someone's Super Bowl. Cup night, bat night, shirt night, blackout, red out. You ready? Free beer. That's the first time. We haven't had that done. Okay? So, and then you're here and everybody's trying to kill you. And on the outside, you're feeling like I got the weight of the world. I got to do this for, I told him, man, I feel for you. I'm here for you, but it's the life you chose. It's the life you chose. And if you make it through here, you make it. But it's hard, it's tough, it's not easy.
Coach, early in the game, you were absolutely killing Tech on the offensive glass, and then from that point on, they kind of like evened things up a little bit. Could you just talk about what happened there?
Well, EJ was really, really active those first 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes. And my thing, and I told him after, I still think it's conditioning. Because as the game wore on, he came back. Well, be that guy for the minute, 30 minutes, 28 minutes, whatever it is. So we're going to continue conditioning and getting him mentally and physically tougher because he was the difference. I mean, he had a ton of rebounds early, and Nick had some. And then, not so many. I mean, they fought. Every time I watched the Baylor game, they could have beat Baylor. Even West Virginia got them down at West Virginia. They didn't go away. They fight like heck. And, that's what I expected. Even if we got up, I expected them to make some kind of run. I was surprised Chris didn't trap us in the full court, but I shouldn't have been because that's how we score. And he must have watched it on tape because I watched them. You all watch. They'll come and start trapping, and that's good for us because it spreads the court and we get angles. And Nick stands under the basket and you throw it up and he dunks it. Well, he didn't give us a chance at any of that. But again, folks, this is what a great environment. I would congratulate these fans, and I'll be rooting for Texas Tech and Chris. All these kids I'm watching. I grabbed them. I watched a couple of them. I grabbed them and said, "Man, I watched your tape. You've been playing your butt off. Just go." So appreciate it. Thank you.